study life at many different scales, from the global all the way down to the molecular. This hierarchy is known as the levels of biological organization. The largest or most zoomed out level is the biosphere, and since the planet Earth is so far the only place in the universe known to harbor life, the biosphere is defined as all life on Earth and all environments where life exists. If we zoom in on a certain part of the globe, we arrive at the ecosystem level. For the rest of this video, we will focus on discovering the levels of organization within this Antarctic ecosystem. An ecosystem is defined as all living or biotic and all non-living or abiotic things within a certain area and their interactions. Examples of biotic factors include plant life, fungi, animals, and microbes. Abiotic factors include parts of the environment like sunlight, soil, water, atmospheric gases, and other non-living components. Focusing only on the biotic factors of an ecosystem brings us to the community level. A community is all groups of organisms of different species living in the same area. So this community has seals, penguins, shrimp, fish, and orca whales. Next is a population, or all organisms of the same species living in the same area, like this group of orca whales. A single orca whale within this population is an organism, which is defined as an individual living thing. More complex organisms, like this whale, contain organs, for example the heart, the lungs, or the skin. An organ is a group of tissues that performs a specific function. So the heart is part of the whale's circulatory system and pumps blood throughout its entire body. It is important to note here that this hierarchy of biological organization does not always look the same for all organisms. Less complex organisms, like bacteria, for example, do not contain organs or tissues. A tissue is a group of cells performing a specific function. The primary tissue type of the heart is cardiac muscle, which contracts in a synchronized way in order to force blood in the directions it needs to flow. The next level is the cell, which is defined as the fundamental unit of life, which is a short way of saying that the cell is the smallest structure that still displays all the properties of life, like growth, reproduction, and energy processing. Zooming into a cell, we find organelles, which are specialized structures within a cell that perform specific functions. Some organelles, like this nucleus, are membrane-bound, while others, like ribosomes, are not. One function of the nucleus is the storing of genetic information. Zooming in on the DNA in the nucleus brings us to the final level of biological organization, the molecule. A molecule is a chemical structure composed of two or more atoms, bonded together. DNA molecules contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus atoms. So here are all the levels of biological organization in order. The biosphere contains many ecosystems. The living members of an ecosystem are called a community. Communities contain populations. An individual member of a population is an organism. Complex organisms contain organs. Organs are made up of tissues. Tissues are made up of cells. Cells contain organelles. And finally, organelles are composed of molecules.